Is God is. Let's go in there and see what this chicken on. I'm gonna be back with my review. Thank you. Shout out theater from seeing Is God Is. It's a pretty dope movie, man. It had a very good, top notch production. I like the production, it was pretty dope. Let me tell you the story. Okay. One day, two girls and a mother is set on fire by their father and husband, the same person. He sets them on fire and he leaves. So after they get set on fire, the mother dies, presumably. The next thing you know, they grow up, you know what I mean? One of them is badly burned. And they get a letter from their mother saying, okay, I'm alive, I would like to see you. So they go see her, and she has one final request before she dies. And then that request is, make your daddy dead. Real dead. And then we come to find out, they're on a road trip to kill their father. But on that road trip, there's a lot of stuff happened. That was a horrible dude, bro. I ain't gonna lie, he did some stuff, bro. You find out. I'll go over it in the spoilers, man. But all in all, man, I thought it was a dope premise, man. It was a good story. I was entertained throughout the whole thing. You should definitely go check it out, man. I don't know how much marketing it got. They sent it to me from a friend. Shout out Shawanda. I always love the content. But yeah, we was in there, man. We was in there. I was really the only person in there. I really enjoyed the film. I thought it was pretty good. We need more films like this because it's a new kind of premise, but it follows like a similar kind of style where they give their own intro. So I thought that was pretty dope. I really enjoyed it, man. It's one of the best movies I've seen in theater all year. Next to They Will Kill You. Mortal Kombat was a wash, but it's either here nor there. It was done fun. It's a good summer movie. But for right now, I'm going to give this movie a 5 out of 5, man. I ain't going to lie. I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I would like to own this on Blu-ray. I ain't going to lie. I had to add to the collection. This is a piece of art you need to add to the collection for right now. Or I don't know if it's just the hype or whatever, but I really enjoyed it, man. I think you should go see it. It is not a Christian movie. It's not a Christian movie by any chance. So if you think you're going to go see God and gospel, you're going to highly be mistaken. This is some teen humor and everything, and there's a lot of good humor. You know what I mean? Some butt jokes and whatever. But it's sad. Some kinds takes itself serious. But I laughed a lot, man. Really. Especially when you meet the healer. If you go see it. Check out the spoilers at the end. It's going to be funny as hell. But anyways, man, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I gave it a 5 out of 5. If you want to see it, think about seeing it. Let me know in the comments below, man. As always, man, take care. Be cool, man. Enjoy this weather. All right, peace. Oh, wow. Somebody getting arrested or something going on. I'm being nosy. Let me get back to spoiler review time. Okay. We're going to start with what happened. I'm being nosy. Let me cut this camera off and check out what's going on. I'm going to get y'all right back. Give me one. All right, spoiler time. Okay. So the movie starts out with Regine and Naya sitting together, smaller children. I guess it was in foster care because what happens is they was making fun of Naya. Naya is the one that's heavily scarred or whatnot. They're calling her ugly and they're playing and whatever. Then it's from the behind perspective. They're sitting on the bench. You see their backs or whatever. So what happens is Regine picks up a paddle. She walks off screen and she beats the mess out of the person that called Naya ugly. It's kind of crazy. Their dynamic is kind of cool because Naya is like the timid, kind of afraid to stand up for herself. And Regine is more in your face. You get what you get, sassy, ha ha ha. But they kind of feed off each other. They never really leave each other's side. And what happens is, oh, that's my car. That's my filter. I got to change it. Dang, all this stuff is interacting with me right now. But okay. But anyways, what was that? Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. So it fast forwards to Naya and Regine. It fast forwards after that, after the credits or anything. And they're a little bit older. And they're in the cleaning business. Okay. This one, it's like this real, like you can tell she's kind of stuck up lady. She's walking away. She drops her scarf down and she picks it up. Regine picks it up. Okay. And proceeds to hand it to her. But her hand is so heavily like disfigured. It's like both her ring finger and her pinky finger are kind of burnt together. And she tries to hand it to you, and the girl does that snob look like, I don't want to take it. So around this time, whatchamacallit comes around the corner. Nyjah comes around the corner, the way she looks at her. And Regine proceeds to cuss her out. And then they both lose their job, and they're coming back home or whatever. They say, yeah, you knew we was going to lose a job, da-da-da-da-da. So they're coming back. And they get a mysterious letter. And the letter turns out to be from their mom, who they thought had died. Yeah, so okay. It was shot. It seems the scene, the cinematography is dope. Y'all gotta check it out. And okay, upon going to see their mom, they noticed that their names are misspelled. It was on front of the door. So they come in, and their mom is just like the commercial. She's getting her hair braided by 3 girls, 3 older women. And said, hey, thought you were dead. She said, and the crazy thing is, the mother wrote the note to Regine and not Nyjah because she knew Nyjah was emotional. And that plays into a part later on. So they get to talking, and she asked why. She asked why they did not. She didn't reach out and let them know. She's like, she really has. She wants to reach out. They asked the question of why they didn't reach out and come see her. She was like, because she was heavily disfigured, and who wants to be around her mother, and their mother looks like an alligator in the face, because she was heavily burnt, had masks and everything going on. So then she proceeds to tell them the story of what happened. That was a good scene because you could tell the man, you don't never know his name. You could tell it goes flashback to that night of what happened. So what happened was they call her God. Regine refers to her mother as God. That's where Is God Is. That's where the title comes from. So yeah, so it goes back and it accounts for the events. It turns out that their father had a restraining order. He broke into their house. He had some very, very, very. He had something psychologically wrong with him. That dude played the role well. If you would know him, he played the role of Killmonger's father that got killed in Black Panther. He played that role pretty good. So it turns around, and he basically pushes her in a tub, lights it up on fire, and sets it up on fire. And you come to find out why Nyjah had the burns. She's more burnt up than like all across her face and the body. You find out that the reason she's so burnt up is because she was trying the hardest to put the fire out on her mother. That was dope. That was crazy. But the reason she got burnt up in the first place because she didn't hold her husband. All right, so we find that out. So boom. After that, they was like, okay, I'm done, and I got this last request. They asked what the request was. They said, okay, I want you to make your daddy dead, like real dead, and I want you to mess everything up around him, everything. So they reluctantly don't do it, but they said, nah, that's kind of crazy. So what she does, she had this like little veil on, like a little blanket, and she uncovers the blanket. Whatever was under that blanket was terrifying because they almost like was crying and everything. And then because they asked her to forgive and forget, so she shows her the rest of her body. We never really see it. And then Regine agrees. Okay, so they say they don't know how to find it. So what they had to do is the mother gives her the address to the healer, which is played by Maxine Shaw, Attorney at Law. That's always going to be her name to me. I'm sorry. I don't know her real name, but they go visit the healer. She's like, they call her the healer, but I don't even think they even say her name, but I just know her as the healer. Everybody has a little introduction, so they come to her like this little house. It's almost like a cult because it was like they come in and say, "Oh, the devil's here, the devil's here," and she did a thing like my dude do with the blanket, start knocking people down. It's hilarious. But anyways, after that, they all meet. We say, "Yo, this is my son." They come to find out they got a brother. Okay, they got a brother. So it was hilarious. That scene was dope because it was funny as hell. So what happens is they get to talking, and he says, okay, he left. Mind you, their brother's like younger than them, but he's old. He looks like about 15, 16. So it turns out she left the dude that I'm gonna call him Monster. That's his name. That's his name in the IMDb. Monster left, and she's been waiting on him to return. She still has his coats and his his lotions and deodorants and stuff. She's literally sitting there waiting on him to return. He's not gonna return because he's been gone for about a good 15 years. So they're walking out. Naya's like, dang, that's messed up. I don't know how we're gonna find him. So come to find out, Regine pickpocketed the stuff in his bag, and he comes to find out it's Chuck Hill, his lawyer, who defended the monster from the previous person. That's how he got off, which is kind of crazy. Chuck Hill has no tongue, so he can't talk. So he's scrabbling on a board like Wile E. Coyote. All right, there's a weapon that's used on the movie poster in this scene because Chuck thinks that Monster sent his children to kill him because of what happened. The reason Chuck has no tongue is because of the monster. Yeah, he ripped his tongue out after he got off trial for burning their mother up. He said I can get you visitation though. Next thing you know, he rips Chuck's tongue out. So Chuck is like, yo, that's a bad man. You don't need to visit him or whatnot. That's when that ensued between Regine and Chuck. He smacked it, man. He beat the brakes off Chuck, man. I ain't gonna lie, you gotta see it. I'm not gonna go into depth, but they got the information of where he is from Chuck Hill. So comes to find out, they got two twin boys. Okay, so they go see him in this scene, but there's something happened in between them going to see him. Oh, buddy, their younger brother, that was in the coat, tracks them down, busts their car up, so they have no car. It was crazy, and they end up locking them away. They didn't kill them, but that was a hilarious scene too. He was the motorcyclist and whatever. So the funny thing is, they fast forward, you find out that the monster is married and has two twins. Okay, so as they're coming up, the wife of the two twins is packing up. She's about to leave the monster because I guess we've been getting beat up or whatever. She's planning on leaving. She has her bags packed and she's about to desert, just leave the twins with this man. So it's funny because she has a thing. She said, if I catch this thing, I got to be there. So she's in a hurry to leave. She's just going to pack up and leave, which is funny. So on her way, like this is long path. It's a very, very nice house, mind you. There's a long path. And this ain't no boom. It runs right smack dab into the twins sitting in the middle of the road. Come to find out, that girl she's very, very bougie, let's put it that way. She actually spits in Regine's face, called her hood rat and all this other stuff. Needing to hear no day. I'm leaving little stuff out so you can go check it out, matter of fact. So I'm not fully spoiling the movie, but let's just put it this way. They come to terms, they spit. Regine takes the previous weapon that she beats Chuck Hill up with and kills the girl and kills her stepmother. Okay. So they take a car, go back to where the mansion is. And as soon as you come in, the two brothers, the two brothers there, it's kind of like them two. There's a yin and a yang. So I guess the bigger brother says, okay, they're strippers. That's got to be what Dad was telling us about. So he assumes that they're burnt strippers. That was crazy. So he ends up going to call his friends and everything. They're talking about stripping each other for it. So push come to shove, Regine and Naya come out in the strip things, and the littlest brother said, I can't do this, I'm out. He goes to chills in the kitchen. Meanwhile, they start to do it. And the bigger brother gets up and say, hold up, wait. You talk about Regine, you could be for it, but you, Naya, we don't even want to see you because you ugly, you got to turn around. So that messes Naya up. Naya runs off. I don't know why he did that. That kind of triggers something in Regine because I don't know why at this point Regine has like the bloodlust. You could tell that her father was like in deep spirits with her because she's starting to turn into a father at this point. So, okay. So at this point, both the twins are separated with each other, which is funny because both the twins are with each other, yet both of them with the similar characteristic traits are together at the same time, which is funny. That was dope. That was a dope scene. While they're separated, Naya's having a conversation with the other twin that he doesn't even know that's his stepbrother. And they're talking, and you can tell they kind of connect or whatever. All right. By this time, Regine is in the separate room with the other twin, and she does something. She hits him in the throat. She slices his throat. So by this time, we got a camera view of his back going toward his friends. They pat him on the back. Blood splatters everywhere. They just run out. They run out. So by this time, the other twin sees it. He comes running in, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. So at this time, Regine and Naya are having an argument, and Regine tries to save the last brother. I don't know why she did that. Because, not Regine, but Naya tried to save the last brother, which is crazy because Regine actually made sense. Like, yo, you don't need to say this dude. You don't know him, but, you know, Naya has the heart or whatever. So, boom, boom, they have a little scuffle, and Naya runs out with the other twin. So the other twin said, "Thank you for saving me," and pretends to try to kill Naya. So by this time, Regine has it back, and they're by a pool area, and Regine is about to get choked to death, and she gets choked out. So the twins just standing there, and Naya stabs old buddy in the back with a hoe or some kind of tool. I think it was a cutter. So that's what happens. So at this time, right, the monster's pulling up. And he's unfazed by any of this. Mind you, his son's blood is on the floor and everything else. He's not fazed by nothing. It's like you can tell he sees all these people going on. He sees all the death around him. He's just calm, cool, and collected and walking around. So by this time, he pulls up because they're hiding in the dinner under the table. He pulls up, boom, sits down, makes himself a sandwich, cuts it and everything, puts the chips and everything. And he knows they're there, so he says, "Okay, let's come out and talk." At this time, old girl is passed out under the table. Naya is sitting there talking to his father. His father is like a real manipulative person. He uses a lot of manipulation techniques. He actually convinces Naya to just say, "Okay, just go home," because by this time we find out that Naya is pregnant with a baby. So okay. She tells him that he's going to be a grandfather. And he says, "Okay, I'm just going to forgive and forget because I didn't want to bounce the baby on my leg or whatever. I'm going to let you go." He sweet talks Naya and he grabs her hand, caresses it. I guess made her feel kind of warm or whatever. And she puts the weapon that they've been using this whole time down. I said, "Okay, cool." I was like, I keep can't like this. It doesn't. Because he flips that switch right back to that psychotic person that burned him up. He said, "Yeah, if I had the opportunity to do it, I would do it all over again." Which is kind of crazy. He smacks me. He said, if you wasn't pregnant with my grandbaby, I would rip your eyes out and make you eat it. It was crazy. That dude was crazy. So he says, "Yeah, you can go." So he lets him go. As they're leaving, he proceeds to just let him. It's like he's nonchalant about how he did it. So by this time, he's fixing himself some scotch, whatever. It was a pretty cool glass or whatever. She comes back, and then that's when the other twin, Regine, wakes up. And then they have a scuffle. And it leads to the monster being pushed in the same, like, it was in the same situation. They poured the lighter fluid on him and burned him. Okay, my joint had stopped recording, man, because it had overheated. It's been a long day. But yeah, anyways, he's in the tub, they pour it in and set him on fire. As he's burning, he yanks Regine in, and both of them burn to death, leaving Naya for the first time in her life by herself. That was crazy. I guess she couldn't leave. Live because of all the murder and stuff she committed, but that was a crazy end to that story. And then you see Regine by herself, loving her kids, she holding him, and she said, "Yeah, I'm gonna tell him the crazy story about me and your auntie." And that's the end of the movie. That was a dope premise, a dope concept, man. We need more originality like this, man. This is why I go to the theater, man. And that's my review of Is God Is. I hope y'all enjoyed it, man. If you've seen it, want to see it, let me know. And until next time, man, y'all take it easy, man. Peace.